us off, I'd like to circle back to that first question in our agenda. It makes sense that being accessible widens your talent pool and helps you retain the talent you've got, which is incredibly important in a tight talent market. But we've been in a tight talent market for years, so why is accessibility on everyone's mind now? Robin, what would you say about that?
So I think as we saw this with people who said I'm on the road, right? We're progressing with our diversity and inclusion journey, and this just becomes one more consideration for us as we work to build environments that are inclusive and allow people, our employees, candidates, and customers to belong. And quite frankly, it's something that our candidates and employees are demanding of us and our customers. And so if we don't think of this, we're not going to be able to win both in the talent marketplace, but as well as in the consumer marketplace, and really thinking about this. And I think this voice, and as we talk more about inclusion and belonging, becomes even more important. Additionally, I think it's also becoming more and more integrated into our everyday lives if we think about technology. So as we kind of think about accessibility, and Kim's going to give us some great information on this today, it's really more of what we do. And examples are, we've bought online for years now, but how we buy online is even different. I was watching a news show as I was getting ready this morning, and they talked about buying a mattress online, something a few years ago you wouldn't have thought of, because how am I going to return this, right? What does that look like? So again, even what we're buying and how we buy it has changed. On the employee side, I think what's happening is how we do our work is changing consistently. So while we've been using technology for many years, how we use it and how it's integrated into our jobs has really started to change. And as we think about it, whether it's the tools that we need to do our work, we need to make sure that they're supporting our employees and allowing them to be the most productive that they can. So this accessibility, again, becomes more important. I think a great example kind of from the employee's standpoint is thinking about onboarding. And so if you go back many years ago, right, it was sort of this in-person session that you had, and then all of us said, okay, that doesn't really work. We're becoming broader, our employees are more dispersed, and so we really want to be able to do this from a digital perspective, and we started all these tools that you could do things online. We're making even more interactive now. Maybe that's with gamification, maybe it's with augmented reality or virtual reality, and as you start to add those components in it, this accessibility becomes even more important as we start to change those. So those are just a couple of thoughts I had.
Yeah, and to kind of follow up with what Robin said, I mean, and I had to look this up, is that the web is like more than 25 years old now, right? So it's not a novelty anymore, right? I mean, these apps and these things, they run our lives now. They keep us on track, they run our lives, and I think a lot of the generation that's moving into the workforce has had this their entire life, which means their expectations are really, everyone's expectations at this point are really high on what features it has, how it delivers it, things like that. I mean, it's instrumental.
There was a session for some CHROs that I attended, and one of the things that they talked about was digitally native, right? So as we think about this, this becomes even more and more important. Clearly with the years of experience, although you can't see me, 100 years old, that's not sort of the generation I'm from, but I even find myself, I had left my phone, which I know is crazy to think about, at home one day. I wasn't sure how to order a cup of coffee because I only order coffee off of a Starbucks app. I didn't know how to check in for my flight because I only do that from an app. So as you start, to Kim's point, as you do this, it really starts to change how you think about things.
Yeah, I love those points, and I'm going to recap some of that for everybody so that you have this in your takeaway materials. But like Robin and Kim were both talking about, there's this huge population of digital natives, and they and all of us together have higher expectations of what technology is supposed to do. It's supposed to be there, it's supposed to work all the time, no downtime. Kim, to your point, when this was new, we were kind of excited to have something new, and it was very groundbreaking, and now it's the norm, and it's just supposed to work, and it's supposed to be there. There's also this influence of social media, and you have to have a concern about your brand reputation. So what does it say about you, if you're not accessible, if you don't have a way for all different types of people to be able to apply for your job or be successful when they get inside your company? And people are going to talk about that. If they have a bad experience, it's going to be very loud on the web. And younger generations too, there's this idea of generational differences where younger generations, they'll speak up about things like that, where maybe older generations were more go with the flow and do your job and keep your head down. I mean, that's all changing as well. And then diversity now is not just about demographics and the numbers. It's about how do you become as innovative as possible and how do you create this culture of diverse thinking. So all of these things are shifting kind of as we speak.